Elon Musk is many things: billionaire, entrepreneur, Tesla CEO, and so much more. But as of this week, he is no longer the world's wealthiest person. That status now belongs to Francis Bernard Arnault, chairman and CEO of luxury goods maker LVMH, a fashion and cosmetic magnate, according to Forbes and Bloomberg News. Arnault, 73 years old, owns 48% of LVMH, the owner of brands like Louis Vuitton and Tiffany. Here's the plot twist and a detailed backstory about how Elon lost his first place to Arnault with a tumble of $100 billion in his net worth. Tesla CEO Elon Musk became the first person in history to obtain a $300 billion fortune last year in November, but so much has happened since. He was on the extent of acquiring Twitter after months of back and forth and alleged plans to lay off 75% of its staff if the contracts go through. He had a confidential meeting with one of his employees and was rumored to have had an affair with Nicole Shanahan, the soon-to-be ex-wife of Google co-founder Sergey Brin. However, Musk denied the rumor. It is the first time that Tesla and SpaceX owner has slipped from the top of the rankings since he overtook Amazon founder Jeff Bezos as the richest person in September 2021. During this year, Musk's wealth has dropped by over $100 billion, more than the GDP of Bulgaria, Croatia, Iceland, and Uruguay, according to the World Bank data. Just a year ago, while tech stocks were soaring, it was a different story for Musk. When Tesla shares peaked at around $410 billion in November of 2021, Musk's net worth was $340 billion, according to Bloomberg's estimates. The 51-year-old Musk's wealth is largely tied to the price of Tesla's stock, which has lost more than half its value since January, with the slide only steepening after Musk's $44 billion purchase of Twitter. But since then, Tesla's stock has fallen more than 59% as growing recession fears, slowing EV demand, and Musk's Twitter acquisition have weighed on investors' confidence. The company has been hit with several vehicle recalls that have hurt its prospects, including one just this past week that will pull 321,000 U.S. cars off the road for a rear tail light issue. This month itself, Musk's fortune is down by $28 billion. In quarterly earnings recorded on Wednesday, the electric car maker's revenue still fell short of some analysts' expectations. Add in worries about a possible recession, and investors are spooked. Matt Millay, chief market strategist at Miller Tobacco & Company, in an email said he sells high-priced cars, so a recession will not be good for his business. Musk owns roughly 15% of Tesla, so any serious decline in the company's shares causes a substantial hit to his net worth. While his competitor Arnault's net worth now stands at $190 billion, while Musk is worth $174 billion, according to Forbes, which had Musk ceding the top spot on his ranking last Monday. Paris-based LVMH, Monet Hennessy Louis Vuitton's fashion designer apparel, fine wines, and retail businesses have been piling up from the insanely raised demand, which were after the COVID-related shopping and travel restrictions were lifted in most countries. Arnault's brand serves and restores to the most exquisite and expensive brands from Christian Dior and Fendi to jewelers Tiffany & Company and champagne house Moet. Arnault has been a wealthy person since years but was never able to make it in the hit list as the U.S. tech giants were ruling the index. But now his wealth ranking has surpassed Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, Alphabet Inc.'s Larry Page, and Sergey Brin, and their wealth is predominantly getting hammered by rising interest rates. Since completing the acquisition of the social media platform in October, Musk's chaotic reign has included an exodus of advertisers from the social network amid concerns about a surge of misinformation and hate speech. As Tesla stocks face such heavy losses, Elon Musk on Saturday blamed the Federal Reserve for the current situation, saying his electric car company is doing better than ever. Tesla stock has nosedived around 60% since January this year and traded at $156 after hours this week. But this all didn't hold him back from the thought of expanding his kingdom. That's when he shocked the world in April with his offer to take Twitter for $44 billion. This move was also described by the Netizens as when wealthy people start shopping. When a Twitter follower said that Musk has now raised $600 billion of Tesla's wealth and still nothing from the Tesla board of directors, which is wholly unacceptable, he said Tesla is executing better than ever. Meanwhile, on the heavy losses, Musk said that Tesla has been doing better than ever, but we don't control the Fed. We don't control the Federal Reserve, and that is the real problem here, he tweeted. Actually, Elon Musk has had his agreement coincide with the Federal Reserve and other central banks, which also helped him in evaluating a terrific downfall on the valuations of Musk's Tesla Incorporated. The electric car maker's stock is down more than 50% this year. Musk tried for months to cancel the Twitter deal, but failed. He offloaded more than $15 billion in Tesla shares, about $8.5 billion in April, then another $6.9 billion in August to raise enough cash to fund the purchase of Twitter. Once he filed and finalized the Twitter ownership in October, the Bloomberg Wealth Index straight up deducted $10 billion from his fortune. It started reflecting that shares of similar businesses have slumped down majorly since he made his bid. Musk further said that he just finished his meeting going over Gigatex's production progress. This week, he sold over 20 million more Tesla shares worth about $3.5 billion and did not provide any reason for selling more stock in the electric car company. Since November 2021, Musk has sold more than $39 billion of Tesla shares. The share sale comes at a time when Tesla investors have raised concerns over Musk's $44 billion Twitter acquisition, saying his 24/7 involvement with the micro-blogging platform is detrimental to Tesla. According to industry analysts, the fresh stock sale is Musk's answer to some of the high-interest debt he is paying on his $44 billion Twitter deal. Wedbush analyst Dan Ives said in an email, the problem for Tesla investors is that more stock sales are likely by Musk to fund this deal, which we believe will go down as one of the worst, most overpaid M&A deals in the history of the market. So, Musk hasn't had the best year. In fact, he's lost more money than any other billionaire, with his net worth dropping by $101 billion. Mark Zuckerberg comes in second on the list of biggest losers. The Meta CEO has seen his fortune drop by $83 billion this year, while Changpeng Zhao, CEO of cryptocurrency exchange Binance, has lost $81 billion over the same period as the crypto winter continues. On the other side of the coin, chasing Musk for the title of the world's richest person is Indian business magnate Gautam Adani, who has seen his net worth soar $53 billion this year to $130 billion, putting him third in the rankings. While famous billionaires suffered huge losses in 2022, Gautam Adani, the richest person in India, recorded a huge rise. Adani, 60, has a net worth of $130 billion after an increase of $53 billion this year. In the late 1980s, Adani dropped out of university and started working for an agribusiness firm, and most of his wealth has been made in the last 2 years. Adani's wealth was $5.8 billion on March 16, 2020, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index data. Known for its coal production, trade, and port management, Adani has also made a name for itself with its renewable energy and media investments in recent years. The electric car maker comprises the bulk of his fortune and is struggling with the burgeoning COVID-related restrictions in China, its largest market outside the U.S. The Austin, Texas-based firm recently announced a recall of more than 300,000 cars due to faulty taillights, while also dealing with supply chain snarls and soaring raw material costs. Tesla shares dropped 6.8% to $167 in New York trading on Monday, the lowest since November 2020, and are down 52% this year. That compares with a 29% decline in the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 index. Musk has also been preoccupied with Twitter, the social media network he acquired last month for $44 billion. The company has lost about 60% of its workforce since Musk took over, with the latest round of layoffs coming on Sunday. Investors have been questioning whether the billionaire is spreading himself too thin among his various high-profile ventures. Tesla's dependence on Musk is listed as a risk factor in its security filings, highlighting that although Mr. Musk spends significant time with Tesla and is highly active in our management, he does not devote his full time and attention to Tesla. But don't feel bad for him yet. Musk's net worth is still 227,000 times greater than that of the average U.S. household, and roughly equivalent to the annual GDP of all of Iraq. If he wanted, Musk could buy 1.9 billion barrels of oil, 97 million ounces of gold, or even 10 million Bitcoin. Also, when he surpassed Bezos last year, he casually joked, Forbes in an email, that he wanted to send Bezos a giant statue with the digit 2. We wonder what his comment would be on it now.